Hi there, it's Annie Lou. How are you? So there is no every plate tonight. There is Annie Lou plate. And what I'm making is pork chops. So I made my own shake and bake. I'll be using that for the pork chops. And I am going to make a corn pudding and Brussels sprouts. So let's start with the corn pudding. This goes into a 325 oven. So I need to get that done first because the pork will go into a 400 oven. So this corn pudding recipe is very, very old. Not old, but someone gave it to me a long time ago, and it has got to be one of my most favorite sides. And I always make it at Christmas time and Thanksgiving time, and then maybe another couple of times during the year. So the first thing you need to use is a can of cream corn, which I would never, ever even think to use cream corn as a side by itself. So I have that. This recipe was given to me by a friend of mine. Her name is Judy. Thank you, Judy. All right, now 3 tablespoons of flour. This may have been her mother's recipe, but everyone knows I make it. At Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, they're like, Auntie Annie, is that your corn stuff? And I say, yes. Yes, it is. 1 teaspoon of sugar, and I'm going to mix that up. Now it says 4 tablespoons of milk. Mix it up. So into this, I'm going to add 2 beaten eggs. The thing about eggs is when I use eggs, I do 1 at a time. That's something my mother taught me a long time ago. She said, the second egg could be bad. So we don't want that to happen. Give it a beat. And the other egg. In goes the next egg. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt. A shake of pepper. And 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So I have been using the spatula, but now I'm going to get a whisk and whisk it up. Bake at 325. It doesn't tell me how long, but I think I'll give it 30 minutes. I'll put my timer for 30 minutes and then I'll come check it. And I put it into a greased casserole. This comes out very light and fluffy. It's like a corn souffle. So let's put that in. Set my timer for 25 minutes. Now the next side I'm going to make are Brussels sprouts, roasted Brussels sprouts. So it is time to prepare the Brussels sprouts. I'm going to cut off the end and take off the outer leaves. Now I have a container. I'm going to cut these up and put them into the container. Now the trick is to cut it up, and that lets out all those nasty gases. So if they fall apart, it's okay. So I will finish prepping those. So I usually dress things that I'm going to roast in the oven the same way. So you've seen me do this. The first thing I do is I add some olive oil in my little Rubbermaid container. And then I add some salt, some pepper, and garlic powder. Put my cover on and shake it up. Now I will put these in the oven the same time that I put in the pork. I need to wait for the corn pudding to finish because I really have to jack up that heat. I'm going to check on the corn pudding. Now, I did cook this a lot longer than, what did I say, 25 minutes? I think it was more like 45 minutes. Probably because it's at a low temperature and it needs to cook slow. But this is perfect. Perfect, perfect color. And it's firm to the touch. So this is good. Now, this is a surprise. Ricci's really good at whipping up surprises. So he said, because we're having pork, we need to have applesauce. So he made an apple thing. Went into the refrigerator, found the apples that are on their way out, and created this apple side thing. Yum, yum. I have a big enough pan here that I am going to be able to cook the Brussels sprouts and the pork chops on the same pan. So I'll just spread those out for now because I need to get the pork chops ready. So here are the pork chops. They're beautiful. I was in a market, Rocks, which is located in West Warwick, Rhode Island. It's a very small store, and they have the best meats in there. And I wasn't looking for chops, but there they were. So I picked out the ones I wanted, brought them home, and we're gonna put them in the oven. So I rinsed them off, and now I am just patting them dry. Put those aside. Now I have 2 dishes. I like using these. It's very nostalgic for me. They were my mother's, and she brought them over from Belgium. They just don't make stuff like this anymore, do they? No. No, they don't. I am going to crack an egg and mix it up. I have to say, I amaze myself when I crack an egg and I don't get any shells in the egg. All right, let's beat this up. And here is my homemade shake and bake. Smells good. Put some on the bottom there. Get a chop and dip it in the egg. Then I have some on the bottom of the bowl. Pat it in and pat it in some more. I want it to be well coated. Pork chops. It has to be a 400 oven. My husband actually told me that years and years ago, and I never forgot. So I'm using like 1/4 of a cup of the breadcrumb of my homemade shake and bake. Turn it and just press it in. So it's a 400 oven for 20 minutes. Now, these chops are a little bit thicker. I am going to put them in, I'm going to go 23 minutes. So let's get those in there. And Ricci made some garlic bread. You can see that the Brussels sprouts, the leaves are already getting crispy. Give them a flip or 2. So now I will add the chops. 1 chopper, 2 chopper. There you go. Ooh, they fit perfect. Put them back in. Set my timer for 23 minutes. Now, I want to point out my apron. I love this apron. My sister-in-law made it for me for Christmas a few Christmases ago. And what I like about it is it goes on the back. There's like no thing around your neck. She is an excellent seamstress. Thank you, Barbara. All right, I'll be back when the timer goes off. It is time to check what's going on in the oven. And I see I am just in time for the, I think I left the Brussels sprouts in a little too long. I actually meant to take them out sooner, but they're crispy. They're fine. Just take them out and put them over here. So, for Brussels sprouts, I would say maybe like 15 minutes is more than enough. And look at them. Maybe you like them crispy too, so however you like them is how long you cook them for. Now I want to check the chops. And it is perfect, just perfect. Okay, I'm going to put the garlic bread in, the plates, and we'll be off to a nice dinner. Pop in the garlic bread. I'm just toasting it. The corn pudding and the Brussels sprouts. I don't know if Louie's going to be happy with the Brussels sprouts. They're really well done, but that's okay. The applesauce made from scratch. I think this looks really, really good. So when the garlic bread is done, I'll add that to the plate. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this dinner. Made it all on my own. I said to Louie, did you ever think this day would come when I wouldn't ask you for help in the kitchen? And he went, I don't know what he said. Did he have a response? I don't even know. Well, I will post the recipes in the description, and there's no code for this meal. You'll have to make it yourself. So you take care, and bye-bye.